What's up YouTube, my name is Mr. Gruesome, and I just wanted to say real quick before this video starts to subscribe to my channel down below, and also go follow me on Twitter at Mr. Gruesome, and I'll leave a link down to it in the description, so go subscribe to me down below, and also go follow me on Twitter, and I'll leave a link down below. So now I'll talk to you guys next time, and now here are the stories. I'm writing this as my girlfriend tells me the story, so these will be her words pretty much. My job is just to type and try not to screw up too much. When I was 12 years old, I spent the night with my best friend Carrie. We had big plans for our sleepover. We were planning to stay up all night, listen to music, play board games, and talk about boys. The usual things little girls do. Around 2 a.m. after her parents were sleeping, we decided we were hungry. We knew we had to be quiet so that we didn't wake them, so we tiptoed into the hallway from her room. As we made our way into the kitchen, we had to go through the dining room. Because we were both so quiet, we heard a tapping noise. Immediately, we both knew that someone was tapping on the living room window. You could see into the living room from the dining room, so immediately our heads turned towards the living room. We could see a figure standing on the porch next to the window. Because of the way the porch light was illuminating the figure, it looked like a shadow. We thought the figure was Carrie's sister's boyfriend. The sister and boyfriend had been banned from seeing each other and assumed this way his weird way of getting her attention. We decided that either he would leave on his own, Tina, Carrie's sister, would see him, or Carrie's parents would wake up and run him off. We didn't want the last possibility to happen because we had already been told to go to sleep more than once, and we knew we'd get in trouble for sneaking into the kitchen for food when we were supposed to be asleep. As we walked through the dining room, the figure kept tapping at the window. When he came into full view, we knew for sure it was a man. We could tell that he had a knife in his hand. The knife was what he was tapping with. Now, because the window had no shades, blinds, or curtains, we were sure he could see us as well. We both dropped to the floor and started crawling to the kitchen. When we made it to the kitchen, we literally sat in the middle of the kitchen floor whispering about what we had just seen. We were both sure that we saw the same man with the knife. We knew we had to get her parents' room. We knew we had to get to her parents' room as quickly as possible. To do this, we had to walk to the living room. We sat in the kitchen trying to figure out how we were going to get there without him seeing us. We peeked around the kitchen wall and could still see him standing on the front porch. We couldn't make it to her parents' room without him possibly seeing us. We knew we had to find a place that had a door that would lock in case he came in through the sliding glass door that currently had no lock since it was broke. The sliding glass door was in the dining room and right next to where we were. We decided to crawl back to her room. As we did, we heard the front door knob jiggling. We basically freaked. We crawled back to her room as fast as we could and locked the door. We crawled to her bedroom window that faced the street so that we could see if he was still on the front porch. We didn't see him. We didn't hear him tapping either. As we were watching from her window, we saw him leave her yard and started walking up the street towards the main highway. I could see the knife shimmering off the street lights. It was a huge butcher knife. When we realized he was leaving, we ran into our parents' room to tell them what happened. We told them what we had seen, and due to our overactive imaginations and hundreds of stories that freaked us out before, they didn't believe us. We reluctantly went back to her bedroom and locked the door. We ended up sleeping on the floor, hidden by the bed from any windows in her room. The next morning was a Sunday. Carrie's dad always walked to the corner store of the street, up the street to get a paper, coffee, and smokes. When he came back, he was empty-handed. He said the store was roped off with police tape, and it turned out the clerk in the store had been stabbed to death. So, knife-tapping psycho, please, I hope we never, ever meet. I had something really scary happen to me when I was around 18 years old in the early 90s. I was really into cars back then, and I had liked working on my own cars even though I'm a girl. I had a 1979 Z28 Camaro with TE tops, and in the summer I would go cruising around with my friends looking for something to do. One evening while driving up and down the main street in a neighboring city, I noticed a small red truck following us at a distance. I was with my friend Jenny, and I mentioned to her that I thought this truck could be following us. I pulled into the driveway of a fast food restaurant and noticed that the truck pulled into the restaurant 3 driveways back. I drove out in the other direction and he did the same. Again, I pulled into another driveway and the truck pulled into 3 driveways behind us. I did this several times and the truck just kept following, always staying in about 3 driveways back. Jenny and I decided that we should just head towards home, and which was about 30 minutes away. We thought the driver of the truck would just give up and let us go, but he did not. He just kept following us. It was now getting very late, and we were beginning to worry as the truck had now been following us for about an hour. We did not want to go home and have him follow us there. I decided that the best thing to do would be to drive to the nearest police station. I told Jenny what I planned on doing, and to my horror, she grabbed the steering wheel and pulled it, causing the car to veer sharply right. "What the hell are you doing?" I screamed at her. "You're going to make us crash." It was bad enough that I had to worry about the truck driver following us, but now I had to worry about my passenger freaking out and causing us to have an accident. "No, we can't go to the police," she insisted. It occurred to me right then and there that somehow she thought this was our fault. That somehow, just by cruising around, she thought that we had done something to provoke this. I reluctantly drove away from the police station. We approached a bridge, and we stopped by the red light on a one-way street. The truck was directly behind a car that was next to us. The car turned right, allowing the truck to pull forward. I looked over, and to my horror, this guy had stepped out of the truck and was standing next to the passenger side of my car with no pants on, and he was just masturbating. This guy didn't have his pants down around his ankles. As a matter of fact, he had none at all. I had the disturbing feeling that he probably didn't even have any with him this whole time, and he'd just been following us. I hit the gas pedal and ran the red light going over the bridge. Somehow my friend didn't see what the guy had been doing just outside her window. When I told her, she just kept saying, "No way. How the hell did you not see that?" I asked her in disbelief. It occurred to us that this guy would likely rape us if he had the chance. I drove up and down a few one-way streets and back over the bridge and out into the country. He followed us for what seemed like forever until we were able to finally lose him, going really fast out in the middle of nowhere. We went home and tried to forget about it. For some reason, I never told my parents, and I'm not sure why. A few weeks later, I saw on the news that the police were looking for the same guy in a small red truck. He was wanted for rape. They showed us his picture, and it resembled the guy that had followed us. I thought that their description of the truck was a little different than the one we had seen, but maybe not. I always wondered if it was him. I'm just glad that we never had to find out. So, creepy guy in the red truck, I hope we never, ever meet again.